Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and here are my top 20 favorite Milwaukee cordless tools. And I'm going after the tools that are considered kind of cordless because maybe there is somewhere in the world a cordless or a corded or an air version of that tool. So even though I've got a lot of things like this Milwaukee non-contact infrared thermometer, that's a cordless tool, but I'm not going to count it in my top 20 here, nor any of the kind of charger, recharger, converter things either, because that's a whole different video there. So what I've got, I'm going to do this in two sections, one video. So I've got my top 20 here, but this is the first 10 of those. So first of all, over on the side, I have had this radio since it first came out. I actually have 4 or 5 Milwaukee radios of various iterations. I use them all the time. I love them. This thing has just been all over the place. I take them overlanding with me or camping. They go picnicking. They live in the shop, in the garage, outside, you know, anything. I just always have something like this. And this is an old one. I mean, this used to fit, you know, like an iPod in there or something. But it just keeps going and going and going. So whichever one, they're radios. Radios or the ones the new one has Bluetooth. I mean, they're just outstanding. Another is their orbital sander. This is an M18. I love this thing. These are also, I should say, probably tools, Milwaukee power tools, cordless power tools that I would get again if I lost them or broke them or, you know, they disappeared. This one gets a ton of use. I absolutely love this thing. I would get it again in a heartbeat, and I have given these things as gifts. Let's see. Oh, how about this? This is the M12 Fuel 3/8 Impact. This little guy, I mean, it's a good solid tool. I also have the 1/2-inch drive in the M18. And I'll start out with this, and almost everything, that's about all you need is this thing. So it's a great tool, good solid tool. You all know this would be on the list. This is my M18 Surge. I would get this again in a heartbeat. I have both the M18 and the M12, and I like the M18. It's about the same size as the M12, except for the battery platform, but that actually makes it a little more stable. It's got a lot more torque. It's just a good unit, but either one. So right there, the Milwaukee Surge. This is the heat gun. At first I didn't think I'd use it all that much, but I wanted a heat gun, and honestly I grabbed this thing for all kinds of stuff. Just the other day I fixed some sunglasses by sliding a little bit of shrink wrap. I super glued up one of the eyepiece or earpieces, super glued it together, and then ran a little piece of shrink wrap over it, and then sealed that on with this. I take off labels with this. I'm just always grabbing it to try different things, to bend things, to soften plastic. So the M18 heat gun, definitely on the list. While I'm back here, the M18 Fuel, this is their hammer drill. This is just a beast of a drill. The Fuel version, definitely. They make one that isn't, or you can find them. Beware if you're shopping in pawn shops and stuff. Make sure you know the difference between the Fuel, the old just brushless ones, and the ones that don't have those markings at all. But anyway, this is just an outstanding tool. Plenty of torque. Does everything I need, usually. Just a great all-around drill. Definitely, it's my favorite drill. The band file. 100% I'd get another one of these. I may even get the one with the shorter blade. It's just an outstanding tool. I use it for all kinds of things, whether I'm supposed to or not. I'm always modifying things, shaping things, whether it's plastic or metal or wood. I've used it for knife sharpening, modifying furniture, just doing little tiny creative tasks. I've used everything from, you know, the whole side of it to just the very bit up at the front end. Anyway, just an outstanding tool. No hesitation whatsoever on that one. How about the This is the M12 hacksaw. I have the M18 hacksaw as well, and it's a solid tool. But I often grab this just because I can put little blades on it and it's a lot more nimble. And I'm not, if I need something, if I got to cut something more serious or I'm doing some decon, both either indoors or outdoors, taking out an outbuilding or, remodeling a kitchen or something, whatever. I may use this for more finer jobs, but I will jump up usually beyond the M18 hacksaw, and I will go to my Sawzall, and this is the Fuel M18 Sawzall. Just a super beast here. A lot of fire and rescue use these things as well because you could literally cut your way through a car. I think there are even some old videos showing like cutting a car in half, but of course it's been stripped out and everything. But anyway, that's just, if you really have to go in hard and fast, this is it. Is the Fuel M18 Sawzall. That's what put Milwaukee on the map. Lastly, of the first half of my top 20 is this M12 Fuel circular saw. I have the M18 one as well. Both are fabulous. What I end up using this one for is everything up through 2x4s. It's, for ripping plywood, for doing, smaller, more detailed work, cutting corners on pergolas, picnic table modifications, or just general, building stuff. I like this. I also like it because many times I'm showing other folks how to build something because I'm helping them do it. And this is a little bit easier to handle than the full M18 one. Smaller blade, less spinning mass. And if it bogs down because they're misusing it, it's, I think, a safer bog down because it's a lower power tool. Versus if they really are jamming a M18 too hard into whatever their workpiece is. But anyway, I'm pretty quick to grab this and throw this thing in a bag. So definitely one of these. So that's the first 10 of the 20. So now let me get set up for the next 20, or the next 10 of the 20. So continuing on, here is 11 through 20 of my top 20 favorite Milwaukee tools. And honestly, in almost every case, I would buy that same tool again, or, if they've got a newer version, even better. So I'm going to start over here with the M18 inflator. If you don't have one of these, you really should. It is just a fabulous tool. Excellent performance, fairly fast. I used the M12 for years, and when I got this, I thought, well, maybe there'd be those cases I'll use it. I use it all the time. I just grab it. I've almost forgotten about my M12s. It's that much better. On this one, I've also put on the lock inflate. I've had kind of mixed luck with this thing, depending. A lot of times I have to kind of screw it on or just hold it and I can hear it leaking, and I can just inflate faster than it leaks, so I can get up to the pressure. And I had to buy that special adapter. I got the lock inflate one rather than the kind of just a generic one. But anyway, it's a great tool. If I lost it, I'd go buy another. This one was a little controversial. This is the M12 die grinder. It is wildly underpowered. I think they may have a new version of it now, even though this is a Fuel brushless version. It just, if you put it up against something, it tends to die pretty quick, or slow down and stop. I don't know if it's overtaxing the motor or overheating or what, but anyway, for a lot of other tasks, polishing, I use it for knife sharpening. I use all kinds of different soft discs on this thing, from like the Scotch-Brite, the green pads. I've got a felt pad on here, and you can just get things razor sharp, or clean up edges. You can even use this on wood, of course, metal. This will even cause sparks, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, so I'm just really quick to grab this to do any fine work. But if you want real die grinding, it's just not powerful enough. So it's, I think, just opened up a whole new direction in tools. Another M12 here. This is the multi-tool. Basically, it's got kind of this oscillating front end. I've got sandpaper on it now. You can put all kinds of things. Like here's a Bosch carbide grout remover. So if you're doing bathroom decon or something you want to take out, or if you're just, regrouting, you just put all kinds of things on it. I like the smaller head. I do have a larger one. This is the M18 multi-tool. And yeah, it looks clean because I end up not using it. This one does pretty much everything I need. If I was cutting through a lot more wood, or stone, I'd probably use this more. But honestly, I really haven't hit much of a limit with this. There are times, I bog it down, but it's light. This is really, it feels like twice as heavy, plus the battery's going to weigh more. And it's just such a simple tool. And so I think the M12 does an awful lot. So either one, you just should have one. Obviously, one of the ratchets. These ratchets are just fabulous. They, whatever one you get, whether it's the tiny non-fuel 1/4 inch or the 3/8, I think there's probably a half now. But anyway, this is just definitely on my list. Whichever one you get, once you start using these things, you wonder how you got along so long without it. Another M12 here is the soldering iron. I don't use this quite as much for soldering, but I use it for all kinds of other things, like stippling, like melting plastic, cutting through things, marking things. So as far as solder, in fact, you can see a bunch of plastic kind of stuck to the front end. I don't know what I was doing, melting something. It's just really handy for that. And you can solder with it. It does work. It's a solid design. I think people were complaining about it because they were comparing it directly to a cordless version. And that's a whole different world. I mean, like a cordless vacuum or a battery or cordless vacuum compared to a plug-in vacuum, totally different. Same with a saw, a circular saw. I use plug-in circular saws when I, got big jobs. I don't even bother sometimes with the battery-powered ones. Another M12 here. I absolutely love this. Would get one in a heartbeat again. The rotary tool. Some people complain. Essentially, it's like a Dremel. Dremel's like the Kleenex. I use this for everything. It's from grinding, drilling, modifying stuff. I did put a Dremel collet on top or a chuck, so you can see I can actually adjust this. I'm just pushing the little button here. So what it does is it takes the tooled version, to the next level. So I'd recommend going actually, I'll see if I can find a link for Amazon on this. I got one at Home Depot. It was pretty reasonably priced too. It's just a Dremel chuck, and it screws right on. Keep an eye on it, but it does work great. A little bit more inertia starting up. You do notice that compared to the other one, but once it gets rolling, I mean, it's fabulous. In fact, you barely notice it. Good upgrade there, but I'm just quick to grab this thing for all kinds of stuff, from touch-up stuff with wire brushes to, doing some significant grinding down of metal. Here, this thing, they call this, or what does Milwaukee call it, the cutoff tool. Like a lot of our tools they cut off anyway. But anyway, this is, you can put all kinds of different blades in this thing. And it just zips along, high speed. You can grind away, making really kind of shallow to deep cuts for slicing things off. It's great for, like, if you're doing flooring and you want to cut through some backer board, hardy board. You can use it on drywall, although it is really messy. But you can also plug a vacuum into it as well. That it helps. I did try it on carpet, or kind of an indoor-outdoor carpet. It like melted to the blade, but it did a great job slicing the stuff up. And if you want to just score things, it's perfect for that. A little on the pricey side for what it is, but it does work great. And you notice it's got a reverse, forward and a reverse, for depending on how you're using it, whether you're drawing or pushing. But anyway, it's a good solid little tool there. Well, how about this? Here's another M12. This is their staple gun. I love this thing. You can set it up so it fires either on a trigger pull, or if you hold the trigger and you push this down. That's why I've got it. I took a magazine out here, or the battery out. So it's just really fast. If you got a lot of stapling, I don't even think about grabbing anything else. Just an absolutely wonderful, wonderful stapler. They call this the M12 crown or 3/8 crown stapler. Great. I also have some of their nail guns, but for a lot of things, I just end up using this the most. Let's see. Oh yeah, the M18 fuel jigsaw here. This thing is just an absolute beast. I also have the M12 one. The M12 is just super convenient, but if you've got any bigger jobs, definitely grab something like this. I mean, the way this thing just chews through stuff, and then all you have to do is outfit it with all kinds of blades, different length blades, different types of blades, from stone to metal to wood, obviously. But it's just a really solid, big tool, for doing the job, but it's fairly lightweight, nimble. And then lastly, I think this is it, is of course my beloved M12 compact vacuum that I have had going on. This thing's filthy. I don't know. It feels like 15 years, maybe more. It's just a wonderful tool. I've given them as gifts. If I lost this, I wouldn't even hesitate. I'd just get another one. They're that good. But anyway, that rounds out number 20 of my favorite top 20 Milwaukee cordless tools. Now notice there's no lighting on here either. I will do a whole separate one on my favorite Milwaukee lights, and I haven't even touched my favorite Milwaukee hand tools, my favorite Milwaukee pack-out boxes, my favorite Milwaukee drill adapters. It just goes on and on. In fact, I started thinking I better do a Milwaukee fanboy video. But anyway, with that, Doc out.